Guys, we are testing the FX3 against the XH2S in a low light scenario. I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to do this for such a long time, ever since I got my FX3. Actually, ever since I heard of the FX3, I wanted to do this low light comparison, and now I finally had the chance and time to do this for you guys and for me. Now, I wanna be very clear. I wanted to do this test to just kind of satisfy my curiosity. I've seen, some comparison tests online, but doing it yourself is a little bit different, I think, and my conditions are a little bit different. We're going to be shooting in just moonlight conditions. I'm going to be in my balcony. It is very dark. My X-T4 was struggling outside at 5000 ISO f1.4 lens. So it is a very dark scenario, and I just wanted to see what both of these cameras can do at their absolute highest ISO settings. I'm going to be looking specifically for how well the image holds up. I'm going to be looking at details. I want to see, what the shadows look like, what, mid-tones look like, and just overall, how good does the image look at all the way cranked up at, to their maximum. I want to see how well the image denoises. Now, I'm going to be using DaVinci Resolve. If you have, Premiere Pro, that's totally fine. I think, to me personally, DaVinci Resolve has the best denoise function. I'm going to do a light denoise, and then I'm just going to bring it up specifically for the Sony. Once I get into the crazy 100,000 plus ISO ranges, I'm going to have to apply a little bit more noise reduction and just see how well that noise, cleans out. So yeah, next time you see me, I'm going to be outside on the balcony, and we're going to be focused on the X-T4, and we're just going to crank up the ISO and see what happens. So of course, here we have the FX3 with the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 Art Mark II lens. So very, very beautiful, awesome lens. And then of course we have the contender here, the XH2S with the 16-55 f2.8. Of course, legendary, beautiful lens. I absolutely love this lens. So I'm gonna have this set up on a tripod like this. Right now, the X-T4 has a f1.4 lens, 5000 ISO, and it's really struggling. So it's really dark. I just have moonlight, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we have the setups. Both of these cameras are set to the same settings, 1/60 shutter speed, f2.8, 4K 30, 4000 Kelvin, F-Log 2C, and S-Log 3, S-Cinetone. Everything is set to the same settings, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my my X-T4, I'm going to put it on this table. Of course, Fuji has struggle with autofocus the darker it gets, so we can't see the table. But you're going to see the FX or the X-T4. We're going to see it on this table once I start cranking up the ISO. Okay guys, so I had the opportunity to look at this footage side by side, and I gotta tell you, I'm noticing some very, very interesting things. So right off the bat, you can see once the XH2S hits its second native ISO at 3200, you can see how extremely well that image cleans up. Another interesting thing is that the XH2S stays pretty consistent all the way from 3200 to 12,800 ISO. If you look at the grain, you'll notice that it looks like white. It doesn't look like it's like these little blocks of color like pink and green and red little, pixels. You're not seeing any of that with the XH2S, and that's all the way up to 12,800 ISO. On the other hand, the FX3, you will start noticing this like discoloration at around 4,000 ISO, and it stays with you all the way up until it hits its second dual native ISO at 12,800. And then from that point on, the FX3 just absolutely crushes it. I'm gonna go as far to say that the FX3 looks good. It looks good to me all the way up to 102,000 ISO, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I think that 409,600 ISO looks very, very, very grainy, and you're definitely going to have some trouble cleaning that up in post. Now, to conclude this whole experiment here and what I have learned, I think it is very, very important to consider what type of videos, what type of content, what type of, whatever you're going to be using your camera for. That is going to be extremely, extremely important in this particular scenario. Both of these cameras, image quality wise, are extremely capable cameras. But if you ever find yourself in a situation like I found myself, in a situation where you cannot control your lighting, you can't control your environment as good as you would like, the FX3 is going to be the camera that you're going to want to have with you. So anyway, guys, that is it for me today. I hope that you learned something new today. And yeah, I definitely want to hear your feedback. This is like really interesting to me. I always wanted to test these cameras, and now I had the chance to do it. So please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, because it helps me tremendously. It helps other viewers like you see my videos, and that's overall great, and I would highly, highly appreciate that. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.